Officer Johnson had stopped Quintero for speeding. He found he didn't have a license, retained him. Quintero pulled a 9mm handgun from his waistband and shot Johnson. Casings were found in the car, and police revealed that the suspect also tried to shoot the tow truck operator who showed up just after Johnson was shot. Paramedic Ryan Ostendorf. Azuna Torres had a blood alcohol level of 0.26%, more than 3 times the legal limit of 0.08, authorities said. He had no driver's license, had a prior drunken driving arrest, and had been deported as an illegal immigrant once before. Prosecutor Karen Whitman noted that Azuna Torres insisted on driving to show how bad he was, even though he was very drunk and a friend offered to drive. Driving while drunk is believed by many Hispanics to show macho attributes, a reason why they are hugely overrepresented in drunk driving crashes. At sentencing, Ryan's friends and families spent 2 hours explaining how his death had left a hole in their lives that would never go away. Three children were playing in a parking lot of Chaston Apartments in Sandy Springs, Georgia, early Monday evening when a red car with a wobbly wheel drove through. Jordan Palder, a 9-year-old boy with chubby cheeks, called out to the car's passengers to tell them of the bad tire. Jordan didn't mean to insult anybody. He just thought they should know, witnesses told police. But the car stopped, a man got out, and slammed an axe into Jordan's face. Emergency workers were afraid to remove the axe during the helicopter flight to Children's Healthcare of Atlanta, a Scottish Rite hospital, where Jordan died. Later, the police chased after the victim, who ended up dying in the shootout. 18-year-old Min Soo Chang never had a chance. The UNC Charlotte freshman was struck head-on by a drunk illegal alien driving at an estimated 100 miles per hour on the wrong side of Interstate 485. Min was described as outgoing by family and friends, and was enrolled as a pre-business student. The illegal alien identified himself as Jorge Hernandez, 35, and said he didn't have an address. Police said that he had driven 20 miles on the wrong side of the highway, and other drivers described having close calls. One of the first police officers on the accident scene was C.L. Admiral, who described Hernandez as smelling strongly of alcohol and totally out of it. Hernandez has been charged with driving while impaired and involuntary manslaughter. Debbie Thomas, who was the mother of 3, was killed in a head-on collision on Christmas Eve 2003. Her car was struck by a car being driven in the wrong direction. The offending driver, Narciso Garcia Hernandez, escaped from his hospital bed and is still at large. In addition, 90 people have been injured on area roadways during that time by foreigners, many of whom are illegal aliens working agriculture. The deaths are about a quarter of the total fatalities during the period, while Hispanics comprise only about 5% of the local population. In all but 3 fatal accidents in which Hispanics were at the wheel, the drivers had no insurance, in most cases the vehicles had no inspection stickers, the drivers carried no license, and alcohol was a factor. Jose Ramirez is every American father's worst nightmare. The illegal alien from El Salvador beat up a 15-year-old girl after whistling at her. He broke her nose, fractured a bone in her face, and produced cuts requiring 30 stitches. The man worked in construction in Spotsylvania, Virginia, where the attack occurred. He resisted arrest to the point where police had to taser him. The 28-year-old Ramirez of Prince William County was charged with aggravated malicious wounding and abduction with the intent to defile. Both charges carry potential life sentences. He is being held with no bond. Police said he whistled at the girl as she walked by, then became enraged after the girl did not respond. Ramirez is accused of then running after the girl and pummeling her in the face and head, Kircher said. According to authorities, the attacker then tried to drag the victim, fleeing into some woods only after a coworker yelled for him to stop. Apparently, Ramirez thought this kind of behavior was not objectionable, since he attacked the girl in front of coworkers during daylight hours. 16-year-old Amy Dumas was shot dead May 16th during a home invasion as she tried to protect her wheelchair-bound father, Robert S. Finnerty, who was a cancer survivor and was left using a wheelchair after a stroke, and he was also killed. Apparently, 4 Asian gang members forced themselves into the family's apartment and shot father and daughter several times. 2 men were quickly arrested by police, and the accused are Cambodian-born and belong to a local gang, the Oriental Boys. 2 other gangsters are being sought in the killing. At least one of those arrested, Chon Sun, is well known by the local police. This is from an FBI annual report for the Uniform Crime Report. In a population study of a sample of 55,322 illegal aliens, researchers found that they were arrested at least a total of 459,614 times, averaging about 8 arrests per illegal alien. Nearly all had more than one arrest. 38%, about 21,000, had between 2 and 5 arrests. 32%, about 18,000, had between 6 and 10 arrests, and 26%, about 15,000, had 11 or more arrests. Most of the arrests occurred after 1990. They were arrested for a total of about 700,000 criminal offenses, averaging about 13 offenses per illegal alien. One arrest incident may include multiple offenses, a fact that explains why there are nearly 1.5 times more offenses than arrests. Almost all of these illegal aliens were arrested for more than one offense. Slightly more than half of the 55,322 illegal aliens had between 2 and 10 offenses. About 45% of all offenses were drug or immigration offenses. About 15% were property-related offenses such as burglary, larceny, theft, motor vehicle theft, and property damage. About 12% were for violent offenses such as murder, robbery, assault, and sex-related crimes. The balance was for such offenses as traffic violations, including driving under the influence, fraud, including forgery and counterfeiting, weapons violations, and obstruction of justice. 80% of all arrests occurred in 3 states: California, Texas, and Arizona. Specifically, about 58% of all arrests occurred in California, 14% in Texas, and 8% in Arizona. The source is from the Government Accounting Office, U.S. Department of Justice, National Security Institute.